Mathematics for Parents. Welcome to Mathematics for Parents. My name is Dani, and I would like to show you how, with a little bit of effort on your end, you can help your child to become a superstar when it comes to mathematics. This video will introduce you to the channel and will give you a little bit more of an idea as to what type of content you will be able to find. And is it really that useful? And would it be really that useful for you? I'm pretty sure that by the time you have reached our channel, you have been through an overwhelming amount of information when it comes to mathematics and children in primary school. And you are by far absolutely amazed how different mathematics and all other subjects are taught to children in today's primary school education. What we're going to do for you is we're going to lay out the basic structure of mathematics programs of studies as it's based in the national curriculum in England, but we will also direct your attention to key moments in that subject and key elements that you really need to pay attention to, that they are crucial when it comes to building a solid foundation in mathematics, minus overwhelming you with enormous amount of information. First, we have divided every academic year into a dedicated series of videos. We're going to walk you through, within these videos, we're going to walk you through key concepts that from the beginning to the end of the year, how these concepts are explained, what type of skills and abilities your child will have to develop and understand, and how best you can practice with them without turning into a teacher in mathematics for primary school students. We will show you a key moments in their programs of studies that absolutely needs attention in order to secure a good mathematical fluency and a good mathematical reasoning. You will also, I'm very sure that by now you're absolutely 100% convinced that the way we used to study mathematics when we were in primary school is completely different than the way our children are currently being presented with what has to be the exact same information. Well, I will explain why this feels so different and why it's really not quite. Number one is, within the national curriculum, the Department of Education have decided that 3 will be the main goals of every academic year. Goal number 1 will be mathematical fluency. Goal number 2 will be mathematical reasoning, and goal number 3 will be great problem-solving skills. So every academic year, by the end of it, our children has to demonstrate those 3 main points, based, of course, on the knowledge that they have obtained throughout the year. What is mathematical fluency? First, I would like to clarify. There will be a lot of definitions, but what mathematical fluency is the ability to work with number facts. A number fact can be the times table, for example, or number bonds. Times table, something that you know that it's always right, a calculation that you're so used to that you can do within your mind without even thinking, without even putting any kind of effort into solving an equation. If I say what is 3 multiply 5, almost immediately you will say to me 15. That is a mathematical fact. So mathematical fluency is the use of these facts to be able to recall them very quickly and accurately, and to be in order to solve a problem that they might be presented with. Mathematical reasoning, on the other hand, is the strategies and the concepts and the way that you explaining what are you doing in a particular equation. So, for example, a mathematical strategy will be what type of methods you are aware of in order to solve a simple equation. And once you dive into the videos, you will get more familiar with the following few methods, but I am pretty sure that they are not that different. So, for example, if you have a simple equation, can you show me how to solve it using a place value chart? Or can you show me how to solve it using a cherry diagram? All this will be explained in details, and a very important element will be discussed, and that is how from the beginning to the end, elements, skills, and knowledge are solidified and then built upon. So by the time your child is, let's say, year 3, they should be really good when it comes to mathematical fluency and mathematical reasoning. They should be able to explain and discuss and give different ideas of how to solve a specific problem that has been given to them. Of course, and the last one is problem-solving abilities, but we all know that this is self-explanatory, especially when it comes to mathematics. So having in mind all these 3 elements that are key in mathematics nowadays, what is the difference between when we were children? The difference is that a lot of concentration and time was spent on mathematical fluency, on the facts, understanding number facts, understanding formulas, understanding how to express these formulas using number sentences and equations. So all these technical mathematical fluency skills we have practiced over and over and over again. But when it comes to what type of strategies we were using to solve a problem, even in year 1, mathematical reasoning had very small element of our program overall. So for example, if we used to study mathematics 5 days a week, maybe 4 of those days will be dedicated to mathematical fluency, and only 1, if even that, will be dedicated to mathematical reasoning. The big change within the education system that happened somewhere along the line from when we were primary school students to when our children are now primary school students was the Department of Education have, and probably very rightly, decided that those 2, fluency and reasoning, has to be balanced out, especially in today's world and the way that jobs opportunities are created and potential opportunities for further development is presented to children. By the time our kids finish university even, the world would demand a specific set of skills in order for them to take advantage of any opportunity that comes their way. Our jobs is to help them understand, build up, and develop these particular skills, especially when it comes to a subject like mathematics, without turning us into mathematicians or primary school education teachers. So that kind of change between mathematical fluency or the technical execution to a task and mathematical reasoning, the different strategies and the different options you can have or ways and methods to use in order to get to the answer of an equation or to solve a problem, that is the main difference. Another way that is slight because of that difference and because reasoning becomes a very key element, there were changes in the way that this information is presented to our children, changes that we were not aware of, and now we have to face and wonder where to start and how we can efficiently assist. As parents, guardians, or carers of children, we all want to help them, and we all want to dedicate our time and effort to assist them in order to develop all kinds of skills, especially skills that will help them to progress in mathematics or in any academic subject. So if we are not aware of the new methods and the new information and the way that this information is presented to our kids, how are we going to do that? Well, I can say my experience with a lot of parents that I have spoken to is they dedicated a lot of time, an overwhelming amount of time in researching online, trying to find a place where information is bulked up in exactly what they need for a particular year group, so they know exactly what their child is learning at the moment, what are the key elements and the key stages that they need to pay attention and ensure that their child is fluent in, without having to spend months online in researching. And the worst bit is that it's somehow the content out there is divided to either a content that is dedicated to children or a content that feels like it's dedicated to teachers or to mathematical professionals. So parents are kind of lost and left on their own to try to balance between the information as if they were in primary school and the information as if they were a professional. So the middle ground is a place where we are technically, and we need help to make it clear and to give us some guidelines. What do we need to do and how we can do it without overwhelming ourselves and without thinking, oh no, mathematics, that will be a disaster, simply because it was disaster for us. This particular moment was the reason why we have decided to create a content that will meet that sweet spot. A content that will give you a look inside the classroom. It will show you the elements, the diagrams, the concepts, the type of equations, the type of numeral expressions, reasoning, and fluency that is expected from the child to consume as a knowledge, and which of them are key in terms of securing a solid foundation in mathematics. So once they move from year 1 to year 2, they have the exact set of skills that they should have to meet the fluency, reasoning, and problem solving points of the curriculum, but also to know that not only as a technical expression, but to be also able to discuss, to have a conversation when it comes to this type of information. And then when they move to year 3 and they start being introduced to more complex equations and more complex problem, then year 4, year 5, and in year 6, when we are about to face serious exams and the stress level has risen in us, but as well as in the children, we feel like we have missed an enormous amount of information that we now have to catch up. The ideas of our videos is to eliminate that from day one. And this is the type of content that we are going to provide you with. Very targeted, very specific. So you will know exactly what are the key moments in mathematics that your child will learn in year 1. Let's say, for example, you will know the key moments that you need to ensure, the key skills and abilities that you need to ensure your child to have. You will know how these concepts, skills, and knowledge is presented to them at school during a classroom lesson, and you can then represent in the best possible way that into an environment that is extremely comfortable to your child. At home, our children feel the safest at home. They feel like they can express themselves the best when they're at home and they're alongside close people and alongside family members. So we want to eliminate that moment where you sit with your child and you end up in endless discussions as to, this is not how mathematics is taught at school, this is not what my teacher is showing me, you are confusing me, why is this so different than when we are doing it at school? All this will be wiped out because you will be completely aware exactly what type of language the teacher is using. You will be completely aware of what type of visual representation the teacher is using. You will know the concepts and the methods that are aimed to be introduced to your kid, and you will know how to practice with them efficiently. What exact skills you need to make sure that are solid in order to have a security of in the knowledge that they will be able to build upon. Remember, School is a place where they learn. So no one is expecting from us to teach our children at home. At school, they have the environment, they have enormous amount of resources, and they will learn a great amount and great volume of knowledge when they are at school. But at home, we need to make sure that key moments are met and key elements are solidified, especially with a subject like mathematics, where if you missed one single step, you can completely damage your ability to solve equations. So for example, if you miss a step as early as year 1, you can actually cause a significant damage to the abilities of your child's fluency and reasoning when they are in year 3. Year 4 and year 5 becomes a total disaster if they don't have that solid base, if they're not fully aware of what exactly they're doing, and they don't have the security and the confidence that, okay, if maybe I didn't get that right straight away, let me see, what did I do wrong? What can I do differently in order to reach a different answer, or in order to reach the answer that we are looking for, or in order to solve the problem in the way that we are aiming to solve it? So helping your child having a strong foundation in mathematics is also allowing your child to not be afraid to make a mistake, allowing your child to be able to think outside of the box. When the most of the accommodation of knowledge is happening at school, but just at home you're solidifying key steps in their education and in their academic progress. And first of all, I would like to say that even if your child is in year 4 and you have spotted symptoms that are definitely indicating that there is gaps somewhere down the line, we're going to present you with tools and skills and abilities to able to detect exactly at what point, what is the skill first that my child has an issue with. And okay, we have that skill now. How it was developed throughout the years. Where could it be the element of a crack or a gap that I can just fill in and everything else will continue to be smoothly? This kind of content we will provide for you, this kind of information. And yes, at the first glance, it may feel very technical, but we will aim to explain a lot of terminology and a lot of language. You will have to be familiar with that language. So even when you're looking at end of year report, you are looking at your child's end of year report, and there are comments made by the teacher that will supposed to give you guidelines as to what areas the kid needs to pay a bit more attention and to practice a little bit more. You will be able to immediately understand what that note means and what exactly is that area that children needs to a little bit assistance with. Or if you are doing a parents' evening meeting and the teacher of your child has mentioned something along the lines that your child is performing very well in mathematics, but maybe they should practice a little bit more number bonds at home. You will know, after looking at our videos, you will know exactly what number bonds are, why they are important, and how to practice them. I don't want to say correctly, but I want to say in a very targeted way, in a very structured way, where it will be very easy for kids to obtain the information. Structure is key. So if you're familiar with the structure that the information is presented within the classroom, you can definitely replicate that at home, and you can 100% with a little bit of effort, with a little bit targeted effort, to be able to solve almost any potential issue that your child may have in mathematics. Or if they have some gaps, you will be able to really clearly pinpoint them, work on them, fill them up, and just shoot them out to continue on with their further education progress. One thing I can assure you is that if you're patient enough and if you want to look through it, you don't want to spend months online, but you also are willing and open to a very different approach to mathematics that we are trying to present to you here, I'm pretty sure that you will be absolutely amazed with the results that you're going to receive. The motivation of conversation and communication with your child, especially when it comes to mathematics. A lot of us feel restrained in some way when we have to have a discussion in mathematics. We feel like our knowledge is not good enough or solid enough to be able to assist. Well, I can tell you that after our videos, your knowledge will be absolutely where it needs to be. And communication with your child, opening that communication channel, that is key to help them developing their mathematical reasoning, will be as easy as a walk in the park. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening to me. And I really hope that you will enjoy the content. If you do, please don't forget to subscribe to our channels, to leave a comment anywhere, at any point or in any video. And if you need just a little bit more clarification, just leave a comment down below. We're going to have a look and we're going to definitely work on that and prepare videos that will satisfy this specific request that you might have. Also, don't forget to like any videos that you find the information extremely useful. And of course, if you want to know and be notified every time when a new video comes out, you can always hit the bell button that will send a message to you and let you know. So thank you so much, and I would really hope that you enjoy our journey into mathematics.